Now, just a couple of days ago, it was announced that Cuba was now going to enshrine private property rights in the Constitution. Well, I'm really not surprised that this happened. I kind of suspected this has been coming for a long time. There's been a lot of market pro-capitalist reforms that have taken place in the country in the last couple of decades. I find it interesting that some people are still now claiming Cuba to be a socialist country. I think you must have really missed that part about private property. Now, by all means, Cuba is not perfect. And a lot of people are saying, I hope this is some kind of NEP thing. The problem is, Cuba already industrialized. They industrialized in the 60s. This already took place. Now, I can understand to a large degree having special economic zones. Now, to that, I would consider that a concession that might have to be made in order to get by. The DPRK does that, and they kind of have to in order to get a lot of the capital that they need because of the blockades against the country. Or more sanctions, rather, and this goes true for Cuba as well. Now, I can understand that, but I think the question is, how is this private property going to be made manifest? I mean, there's already some aspects of private property that are already taking place in the country, which are frankly completely unnecessary, like the ability to buy and sell homes. What happened to the allocation of resources according to need? If you have housing and then you have someone in need of housing, then you give the housing to them. You don't buy property and then sell it for a profit. I mean, that kind of goes directly against what socialism is supposed to be. I think it's about time a lot of people started finally acknowledging that Cuba is not a socialist country, and it hasn't been one for some time now. And I think that a lot of people really don't want to accept when a country has gone revisionist, and it very clearly has, because they want something to hold on to. Now, I understand to a large degree that we do need something to hold on to. There has to be some kind of socialist state left to cheer for and defend. I mean, people want to be able to do that, and I think this is why a lot of people end up supporting China when it's not socialist. But finally, acknowledging that there's a problem is the best way to begin solving the problem. The fact is, the DPRK can barely be considered socialist. I'm actually going to change my position on that. I actually do consider the DPRK to be socialist, but just barely. Because there is an allocation of resources according to need rather than just profit. Although there is an allocation of resources to profit to some degree, there is an allocation according to need. So I would say just barely socialist. And we all need something to cheer. We all need something to rally behind. And the fact of all socialist countries coming to an end is something that we don't want to face. It's something that we don't want to deal with. And I can understand people being upset about that. But I think we really do have to look at the reality of the situation around us, and that is just about all socialist states are gone. And this is going to be an even bigger lower point since the inception, or since the spread of socialist ideas to begin with. And this reminds us that something is wrong and that we need to fix it. We don't simply need to cling to the past and try to push the same old ideas that clearly are not working anymore. We need to come up with new ideas. We need to come up with new strategies, new ways of struggling. All that's up to us to come up with. Well, that's something that still has to be hashed out by the Marxist community itself. But I think the first step is perhaps finally admitting that there really is a problem.